out of this, exit out of this, exit out of this. What's it called? They make him a statue, right? They make him... what's it called? Statue pedestal? No. What is it called? Stump altar. Stump altar, that's what it's called. Okay. So what I want to do is the player's gonna break this statue, and when it breaks it's gonna spawn a bunch of enemies. So I want to make the VFX for that. I'm going to so I'm going to instantiate like a smoke visual effect. So I guess first I should just make the smoke visual effect. So I want to instantiate it, and then I want to write a script for it with the start and end position. What should we call it? Demi smoke or demi spawn. Enemy spawn smoke. I'll call it enemy spawn smoke. Enemy spawn smoke. GPU with particle. Okay. I'll save this in scenes. Abilities, maybe? Or visual effects, yeah, visual effects. Let's find a good texture for it first. Maybe one of these like fire ones. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, I bet one of these fire ones would look good. One. Let's try this one. Fire one. So we need a draw pass. Pass one is going to be a quad mesh. The quad mesh is going to have, we'll do it in here, material override. Probably just a standard material. The albedo, we'll put in a texture for that. I need to turn on the transparency. There we go. Cull mode disabled. Vertex color uses albedo, so I can affect it in the particle process material. Shading unshaded. Billboard. Why billboard? Or particle billboard. Yeah. Let's add, we want, yeah, we'll keep it at 8. Well, we'll probably need like 16 at least, or maybe more than that. Time, lifetime, maybe like 2 seconds. Randomness, 60 FPS. Turn up the randomness. And let's create a particle process material. So I don't want gravity. Get rid of that. Basically all I need to do here is make it spawn in like an area. Whoa, why did my music skip? Right, because when I move this, okay, let's see. I'm gonna turn on gravity just to try something. -5. Now, when I move this, yeah, I want that to happen. Right, because if I turn on drawing local chords and then I move it, it doesn't do that, yeah. So I want local chords off because we're going to be tweening this. We're going to be tweening this particle to a different position. So I want it to kind of be like emitting as we're going. Emitting behind it. So maybe like 32, honestly. And get rid of the gravity. Now when we move this, okay, it does that. But I want it to be swirling. Let's disable snapping. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. It kind of looks like I'm painting. Something like that. So for the spawn, we'll allow it to rotate Y. Mission shape will be a sphere. Maybe with a radius of like 0.5. Okay, that looks good already. I want it to have a angular velocity. I want it to kind of look like it's swirling. Although, if the particle billboard is on, is this angular velocity going to even work? Oh, looks like it is working. Min value. The minimum value Y coordinate that points can have What exactly is this doing? What if I turn this to 1? Okay, so that is lifetime. If I go here, I'm a little confused how this angular velocity is working. Angular. Wait, this is not angular velocity. What is this? This is just the angle, but I have billboard on, so that's not going to do anything, right? I might come back to that later. Velocity. Doesn't need any velocity. I don't think. Maybe like a -1, so it looks like it's kind of a +1, so it's kind of moving up. And I turn this back to 32. Move it. It's kind of moving up. Maybe. Let's go to the display. I want it to like fade out like smoke. So scale, or we could do a an alpha curve. Start at 0, go up to full, and then end, fade away. Yep, that's better. It's more like smoke. I don't think I want particle billboard on, right? Get rid of that. And then now I can do a random angle between like negative 180, negative 180, 180. No. What did I do for the smoke for the lanterns? I'm spacing a little bit. Where's my lantern scene? Candle lantern. What did I do for these flames? It is a standard material. I have particle billboard on and keep scale on. I have shadows disabled. And I have the angle, rotate Y. We have a positive velocity. And gravity. That's weird, because when I go here and I enable particle billboard, and and then a random angle. Wait. Is that changing the angle? Maybe that is changing the angle. Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely changing the angle. Okay. So I want that. Right, and if I had this disabled, it would be the same angle every time. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I want this to be negative 180 to 180. Yeah. Particle billboards on. Keep scale. What does keep scale doing? If true, the shader will keep the scale set for the mesh. Otherwise, the scale is lost when billboarding. If true, the shader will keep the scale set for the mesh. Otherwise, the scale is lost when billboarding. I'm not quite sure what that's doing. Should I look it up? I should probably look it up. What is keep scale doing in particle billboard? Ditto GPU particle system. Ensures that the particle scaling factor defining the process material is applied to the mesh, even while the particle is constrained to face the camera. Ensures that scaling to scale min, scale max, or a size curve works correctly on a quad mesh. Okay. So I do want keep scale if I'm going to be changing the scale in the particle process. Okay, so I have keep scale on, right? Yep, keep scale's on. Let's turn this back to like 32. What else did I want to do? Yeah, so that looks good already when I move it. I think I'm going to get rid of the gravity, or the acceleration upwards, something like that. Hey, what's up, Beatzilla? It's been a minute. How have you been? Okay, so we have it disappearing over time. Let's have the scale decreasing over time as well. Yeah, so let's go back to particle process material. We'll do a scale curve. Let's change this to like 6. Whoa. Maybe like 2 and 0.5. and I want the scale to decrease over its lifetime. So we'll start it at 0, increase to 1, decrease to 0, increase quickly, decrease quickly, something like that. See how that looks when we move it. Alright, I think I just want it to stay at 1 actually. We'll delete this and do something like that. Yeah, I like that better. Hello, Meepzilla. You have been better. You hit your desk? What do you mean you hit your desk? Like you broke your desk? Is that what you mean? You punched it? Why'd you punch it? Were you raging over a game or something? Alright, we need to change the color of it. I want it to be the same color as this skin. Oh, here we go. I want you this skin. What color is this? Yeah, what'd you get angry at? Were you playing a game that made you mad? I feel that. Where's the texture? Is it in... Why can't I find this, the texture of this? Skin, the geometry is a standard material, but when I open it up, I can't find the noise texture light that I made. Albedo. Oh, here we go. Albedo. Okay. This texture, it was like a gradient with a color ramp. I'll copy this. We'll go back here to the smoke. Let's make the color that. So it's purpley smoke, and I want it to get black. So we'll do a gradient texture. We'll start wait. I want the color to change over time. Is this what this is doing? What if I do is RGB? start this as our color. Oh yeah, here we go, here we go. That worked. What's that? Is RGB doing anything? It was. Okay, so now we got purple smoke. Dark purple smoke. So now when I move it, yeah, look at that. It looks pretty good. I feel like it needs to have like some sort of velocity. Maybe not, I don't know. That's kind of cool. So now what I want to happen is I want to tween this. I want to tween this smoke between the starting and ending position. And what we could do is we could duplicate this. Oops. Right, because if I move this right now, it's kind of thin at the center, and I want it to be really thick at the center. So what if I duplicate this? Smoke center, and I make this one the drawing local chords on, right? So now when I move it, we should have a, I don't know about that actually. Maybe it looks better without that. Yeah, never mind. Let's get rid of that. Let's just tweak this a little bit. There was something I wanted to do. Oh yeah, lifetime randomness. I want to change this to like 64. And lifetime randomness, where's lifetime randomness? Maybe like 0.4. For example, lifetime randomness of 0.4 scales life between 0.6 to 1 of its original value. So yeah, like 0.4 maybe. Look at that. That looks really good. Okay, should I try it with a different texture? Right now, the texture we're using is this, fire. What if I change it to something else? Fire 2. Oh, that's cool. Let's try Fire 2. So here's how it looks with Fire 1. Which honestly looks pretty good. we change to fire 2. See if that looks any better. Fire 2. And they kind of look honestly the same. I think I like fire 1 better. Okay. Nice. Okay. So how do I want this to work? I want this to tween to a position. Like it spawns and then it tweens to another position. So how do I want this to work? I think I want to create it as part of this node, part of this scene, so I can reuse it anywhere. Yeah. So we'll create a new script. In our scripts, miscellaneous. Okay, miscellaneous. Yeah. Response hook. Okay. We want to create a tween. We want a start position and a end position. So we'll export 2 vector3 variables at export var start position. This is going to be a vector3 equals just a vector3, yeah. And then at export var end position vector3. Alright. Okay. And on ready, we want to var tween equals create tween, and then tween property. We want to tween the position. So tween self position to end position. Do I even need a start position then? End position. So it's going to be added as a child of a node, always. So I don't need a start position, I can just call this like target position. Target position. Target position. And we'll have it be, I guess, just 5 seconds for now. And then we will await get tree dot create timer. I don't know, 8 seconds for now. We'll have to mess with this a little bit. And then self dot queue free. Just like this. Wait, self.queue free. Okay. Just want to make sure I did that right. Alright, where are we? Enemy spawn smoke. Okay. So when I oh, how am I gonna set the target position though? Because I want to instantiate it and queue it free, so this might not work. This might not work exactly how I wanted it to work. We could have a start position and we could just queue free the enemy spawn smoke. Yeah, what if we have a start position and when I set the enemy spawn points. Enemy spawn smoke. And I could just queue free this. Node references. I could smoke.queuefree. Or I could just stop it from emitting. But will that hurt performance? If true particles are being emitted, emitting can be used to start and stop particles from emitting. However, if one shot is true, setting emitting to true will not restart the emission cycle unless all active particles have finished processing. Use the finished signal to be notified once all active particles finish processing. For one-shot emitters, due to the particles being computed on the GPU, they may be short period of receiving. Okay. If your one-shot emitter needs to restart, doesn't say anything about performance. This will work, I think. Spawn smoke. Okay. So, okay. Tween. We want to tween the smoke. The position to to we want to smoke. Wait, what am I doing? Okay, smoke dot global position equals get parent dot get parent get parent dot global position, because this is going to be a child of like an alter, for example. It's always going to be instantiated. I want this to be not emitting, and then I can queue free the entire thing, self.queue free, and smoke.emitting equals true, right? Smoke.emitting equals true. Then we tween it. Then we just queue free. We tween it from its smoke.position global position to its get parent position. Get parent dot global position. Yeah. Okay, I don't need that. Okay. Wait, I want this to happen once the signal is received. Spawn enemies. I'm trying to make this really general. So when the alter is hit, I want it to, yeah, I guess send a signal to this that it wants it to spawn an enemy. Yeah, because I'm gonna have to spawn an enemy there also. So how am I making this work with that alter? Sometimes coding gives me a headache. So that needs to send a signal. Like the altar needs to send a signal, spawn enemies. Let's just try that first. So let's go to the altar. This, oh yeah, so Funk break statue. A child instantiating goes to Q free. Flames not emitting it will fall, so we get treated like a timer. Okay, flames not Q free. And then we also want to have a custom signal. Constants, do signals. Signal, spawn enemies. And when we break the statue, we want to spawn enemies.emit. Spawn enemies.emit. But how do I connect to this signal? Should I send this to a global? Probably, right? I should send it to a global. No, because if I send it to a global, then anywhere I have enemies, it will spawn the enemy. So I don't want that either. Yeah, what I want is to anytime this altar is broken, so I think anytime this altar is broken, right, it needs to send the smoke to the different places and then spawn the enemies. So I think I need to add, I just need to add some child nodes to this for the spawn positions. Yeah. Hello, new viewers. How's it going? Trying to figure out a like a smoke spawner visual effect thing right now. Did I just get raided by somebody, it looks like? Where are all these people coming from? A smoke spawner? Yes. So I have this altar, right? I have this altar, and whenever the player like interacts with it and breaks the altar, it's gonna send like a whole bunch of this smoke into a whole bunch of different directions, and then it will spawn an enemy. That's the plan. Alright, so I have this spawner here, and when the player interacts with it and breaks the statue, it's going to break, and I want it to send a whole bunch of smoke to a whole bunch of different places and then spawn enemies, basically. So I'm just trying to make that work right now. Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. I'm working on it. Yeah, so this is the puzzle that I'm working on right now. And once I break that altar in there, it's supposed to spawn a bunch of enemies that you have to fight to get out. How long have I been working on this? A few months. However, I do have a full-time job, so if I was working on this full-time, I'd probably be a lot farther in this process. Let me try to get back in there. So yeah, the smoke is supposed to like turn into a different direction. So what I think I need to do is I think I need to this spawner scene, I think I need to add a whole bunch of kind of like enemy spawn places. So like I can add a node, we'll call it enemy spawn points. Enemy spawn positions. Right, and then I can add just like a whole bunch of node 3Ds. Enemy spawn points. And I can add these throughout the scene, and then I can tween the smoke to those positions, something like that. Hey, thank you guys for popping in. Alright, so I can have these enemy spawn positions. So for example, let's go to here. Wait. How am I going to... I need to make its spawn position editable. I'm trying to make this like really general so I can use it in a whole bunch of different scenes. And it's a hard process trying to make it very general. How do I make a node editable? Like is there I wonder if there's a way to like make this node editable like anytime I instantiate it. Right, because if I instantiate it here, you know what, for now, I'm just going to do this. I just want to try it out. So I'm going to grab this node and move it over here. Move it right here. Like that. Okay. And then here, when it's broken, I want to instantiate a new scene. Const and enemy smoke. Look like I know my way around 3D and Godot. I'm getting there. It's a fun process, I'm getting there. Const enemy smoke scene equals preload our enemy it called? Enemy spawn smoke scene. Okay. We'll make no reference to this. Enemy spawn positions. Oh wait, no, we want to make a child of enemy spawn point. Yeah. So, okay. And then we break the statue for spawn position in enemy spawn positions in enemy spawn positions dot get children. For spawn position in enemy spawn positions dot get children, we want to add child. We want to spawn position dot add child. The enemy smoke scene. Enemy smoke scene. Yeah. Dot instantiate. Right? Oh no, dot instantiate inside. Dot instantiate. There we go. So when I break the statue, or when the player breaks the statue, it grabs all of these spawn positions and it adds that smoke scene. Now, the smoke scene needs to tween between the enemy spawn position. So get parent, right? Get parent global position to get parent global position. So let's go here. Smoke. We can just do I can keep this emitting. I don't need that. I don't need that. Create tween.tween properties on smoke its position. Alright, its position to get parent dot get parent. Parent dot position. Get parent dot get parent position 5 seconds and then Q3. Alright, let's see if that worked maybe. It's the first time I'm trying it out. Let's see if our smoke worked. Okay, so when I break the statue, is there smoke? There is not smoke. There is no smoke. There is no smoke whatsoever. It's like it didn't even spawn the smoke. there no smoke at all? That's weird. Break this. There's no smoke. Do I need to use global position maybe? One smoke. What if we just did self? Self, position. What about comments? Position to get parent. Dot position. Self.q. And then here. For spawn position in enemy spawn position that get children. For spawn position in enemy spawn position. That get children. Spawn position that add child. Enemy smoke scene. It's not working. Why didn't this work? Okay, so when we break the statue, for spawn position, enemy spawn positions dot get children, right? For all of these children, spawn position. Am I doing that right? For spawn position and enemy spawn position dot get children. I'm doing that right. Yeah, for peace. Self.get children. Yeah. For spawn position. For spawn. Spawn point. Enemy spawn positions. Spawn point. Dot add child. Enemy smoke scene. Dot instantiate. Adding the child, and then when this is added, we create the tween property self. I bet it is something with global position. Maybe I need to change position to global position. So we can do like when it's on ready, global position equals get parent dot get parent dot global position. We train from its global position to get parent dot global position. I'm honestly kind of stumped if this doesn't work. What? Why is there no smoke? It's like it's not even instantiating the smoke. Can I just not see it? Are they being added in the scene tree? Yeah, let's do some debugging, I guess. So when we go back to the stump alter and we break the statue, I mean, I know it's going through these. So we'll do like spawn point.add child in the scene. What if we do like print here? Okay, it printed here, so this for loop is working. What if I move this like out a little bit? I could check the remote tab while the game's running. Yeah, have a look at that. That's weird. There's just like I see no smoke anywhere. Like it's not even like instantiating the scene. Like it's not instantiating the scene. Enemy spawn smoke scene. It's not instantiating it. What if I just do like enemy spawn position dot add child enemy smoke scene dot instantiate. Yeah, I just don't see the smoke being instantiated anywhere. Okay, here we go. So the issue is with the positioning. We see smoke. So the issue is with like the tween and the positioning. So there is smoke. We've got smoke. So it is instantiating the scene, but the issue is with like the positioning of it, not the code. All right. So let's see. We want it to. Instantiate. So let's see if this works. So it should instantiate it like here. Right, it should instantiate it here now. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we've got smoke being instantiated. That's good. See it right there. So the issue is with the tween. So this right here is working. It is adding the child, the scene. Now, here. Let's check what's going on with this tween. Why is this tween not working? Child enter tree. Okay. So when it's ready, it's global position equals get parent dot get parent. Await create timer is missing timeout. Thank you. It is missing timeout. Oh, wait. Oh, you're right, Kedor. That was the issue, is getting queued freed immediately. Okay, so I think the tween was working, right? I was just queuing it free too soon. Right? Global position is position, tween. Yeah. Wait, Kedor, did you solve it for me? Look at that, Kedor. We've got moving smoke. And it went away. That was the issue. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kedor. See, this is some of the things that bugs me about coding so much. Like, it's just stupid things like that. Like, everything was working fine. I was just missing this timeout. How long did I spend on just trying to debug this? Like, 30 minutes or an hour? I don't know. Okay, so I want to optimize this a little bit. Maybe instead of this, let's comment this out. We can just do tween property self its position to get parent dot position. We don't have to do the get parent type stuff because it's already being. Oh wait, no, because it's being added as a child of the Yeah, never mind. I think I need to go back on that because it's being added as a child of the spawn points. Yeah. We want that. Okay. Make sure this works again. You stumble with those things like the whole time? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm glad I had you here to help me out though, Kedor. Yep, okay, we've got moving smoke. Look at that. Okay, so let's see, what else do I want to do? Let's put this just right here, so it starts, the smoke starts like right there. Enemy spawn point, so that would look better. And then I need to just put the spawn points around the map. Cool. So it's going to move to its position and then it's going to spawn an enemy. For example, it could spawn like a Demikin. I'm going to have to work on the enemy spawning later though. Right now I want to think about how I could make this more general. Make it work anywhere, or should I just be happy with what we got? First of all, I think like this. I feel like to make this more general, I'd have to do something with signals. Like I'd have to make a global. Or what if I did something like, well, that still wouldn't work. Because what I originally wanted to do was I wanted to make this scene general, like this enemy spawn smoke scene general, so that I could just have some customizable variables, like some exported variables with like a start position and an end position, and it tweens between those. But when I instantiate this scene, I'd have to change those somehow. I could create like a global function maybe. I don't know, I'd have to think about that more. Hey, but we made a lot of improvement right here. We've got moving smoke, so that's good. Yeah, look at that. Cool. So I'm thinking of, yeah, so I want a whole bunch of spawn positions. Let's try it with a bunch of spawn positions. Let's go here to the stump altar. Oh yeah, again, like, I need to make, yeah, I'm gonna have to make some changes with this, because I need to make, right now, these spawn points I can only change inside of the stump altar scene. But when I instantiate the stump altar to like a map, I can't change those spawn positions without like going in here and clicking editable children. But I don't want to edit all the children, I only want to edit the spawn positions. So that's something. I'd have to create like a whole bunch of more exportable variables for the spawn positions. Again, I think a global would just be better to use. Honestly, I'm going to think about that later though. I wanted to do something with the waterways add-on that I just downloaded. I'm gonna figure this out. So let's see. If I add, what is that, a water? Where are the waterways? Node 3D. Train 3D. What are the icons? River. So if I add like a river. Wait, what? Oh wait. Product settings. Plugins. Enable. Enable to load add-on script. Why not? Does the waterway add-on not work with 4.6? Damn, I don't think I'm gonna be able to try this right now. Alright, I'll look at the waterways later then, I guess. I guess we could just, yeah, keep working with this. So, do I need to create a global script to make this work? What I could do is I could create some customizable variables. Export var. But then how am I going to know how many to create? Because what if I want to spawn multiple? Yeah, I still feel like a global function is going to be the way to go about this. What I could do is I could have break statue could call a global function. I could have some parameters in it. Like when I create the node, like the parameters could be these global positions. These global positions could go in as a parameter to the global function, and then the global function could be called by the enemy spawn smoke scene, and it could, and then it could tween between that position and that position. We could have a global function called spawn enemy. It feels out of place. It feels out of place to have a function called spawn enemy in here. Func spawn enemy. Might as well try it out. Okay, so it's gonna have a lot of parameters. It's going to have. Wait. Do I need two functions? Oh no, I could just instantiate it to the scene. Wait, no. Calling node. Calling node, and then it could be spawn. It needs to have an array of the children. Spawn positions, which needs to be an array. This is some crazy coding I'm doing right now. Turn this music off. Focus. Okay, so spawn enemy will be called the calling node and spawn positions. So in the stump alter, we will call. We're going to call global dot spawn enemies. And it will be with self. And enemy spawn positions. Enemy spawn positions dot get children. Right? Okay. So we have a calling node and spawn positions. What this is going to do is it's going to loop through the spawn positions for spawn positions. For spawn positions, for positions in spawn positions, we want to instantiate position dot add child. Const Should I check that this is working first? Just to see that it's instantiating. Spawn point. This is being called self enemy spawn positions dot get children. And then in global for position and spawn positions position dot add child. See if this is working first. Yes, that is working. Now we just need to tween it again. We need to tween it between the calling node position and the spawn position. Smoke. Starting. Pose. Enemy spawn positions dot global position. And this is going to be a vector 3. For position and spawn position dot add child, and then spawn position dot instantiate. But then we want it to I'm getting closer, Big brain stuff. Okay. So we have it. We have the smoke being spawned in all of the children positions. Now I need to tween it between the initial pose position.addChild tween. What if we did the tween here? What if I did var tween equals create tween here. I need to like set this equal to a variable. Var enemy smoke scene equals position dot add child enemy smoke scene dot instantiate. And then we want to enemy smoke scene smoke scene dot global position equals initial position. Okay, and then in here, the global position is being set, so we want to create the tween self. We want to enemy smoke screen. We want to create a function tween position with initial pose and position. Global positions, right? Spawn points. Being called with, yeah, a bunch of nodes. Enemy spawn positions dot get children. So this is a bunch of nodes, and yeah, okay. Array of, do I do a node 3D in here? Just not okay, so war position and spawn. For spawn point and spawn positions, var enemy smoke scene equals spawn point dot add child enemy spawn scene dot instantiate enemy smoke scene dot tween position dot animate movement. Animate movement with initial pose and spawn point dot global position. So in here, I need to have a function func animate position with start position and end position. Yeah. And we're going to set the global position. So basically all this. position equals start position. Change itself. Go position to end position. 5 seconds. The student enters the tree. It awaits 8 seconds and then queues free. Followed by global. Okay. I think that works. Enemy movement. Animate movement. I don't know, man. I don't think this is gonna work. I have no confidence. Let's try it out, I guess. I also just don't like the idea of using a global whatever. Okay, what's the issue? Trying to get a return value of a method that returns void. Line. Wait, where? Wait, what? Trying to get a return value of a method that returns void? Global.spawn enemies. Okay. For spawn point in the spawn positions, bar enemy smoke scene equals spawn point dot add child enemy spawn scene dot instantiate. Can we not do that? Google. How to set a variable equal to a instantiated scene and go. First load the scene as a packed scene resource, then use the .instantiate method to create a new instance and assign the result to a variable. Alright, that's what I did. Next, spawn scene. Preload that. Enemy spoke instance. Now access or modify variables properties in the new instance, right? Wait. Does this work? Oh. No way. Oh my gosh. I think I did it. Okay, so I made a global function that can be called by anything now. Did I actually do it? I'm honestly surprised. I thought I was gonna have more errors. Global position to start position. functions on enemies as an initial position. And they spawn positions in the road. So whenever I call this function, I'll need to call it with an initial position and then just spawn positions. Okay. I think this will work. I'm just like going over every issue that might arise in my head. It's giving me a headache. But I think this will work. From smoke trail. Funk, enemy. Animate enemy smoke trail. Call this animate trail. I'll just say animate movement. Animate movement. And this should have a wait, versus called animate enemy smoke trail. So we need to go back to stump alter animate enemy smoke trail, right? Any smoke trails. Movement. Start position is a vector 3. End position is also a vector 3. Smoke trail. Boom. So now what I can do... Wait. This doesn't fix one of the issues. It doesn't fix the fact that these enemy spawn points cannot be... Wait. Let's look at it. Ay. How do I make these spawn points editable in here. When I instantiate the stump alter scene, I want to make those spawn points editable. I'm going to be able to move their position. It's almost like I need to... I mean, I could just create a whole bunch. Yeah, that's one option. I could just do like, I could go in here and I could create some, I don't need this by the way, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. I could create a whole bunch of exportable variables in here. A whole bunch of vectors. Or a whole bunch of nodes. Yeah. Enemy spawn pose 1, enemy spawn pose 2. Right, we could do like var at export var enemy spawn point 1. To the node 3D. At export var enemy spawn point 2 node 3D, and then now when I instantiate it here, I can now assign it to enemy spawn points. Spawn points, right? And then here I can add another just node. Put it in roll files on nav region. Alright, what if I just do like wall puzzle spawn points. And then I add a bunch of nodes here. Spawn point. Stump altar. Spawn point. And then I can move this like here. And I can assign it here. And then I can create another one maybe. Spawn point, so this here. And we'll assign it like that. And then back in here, we can I won't need this. Enemy spawns. Don't need this. And then here, this is going to become this. When I call this, it's going to be enemy smoke spawn init pose dot global position, and we're going to call it with enemy spawn point 1, enemy spawn point 1, and enemy spawn point 2, and this is going to be an array. Look at that. That is beautiful. Okay. That works. So now when now when I instantiate any of these altars, I can create a bunch of spawn points. Yeah. Back in global, we can say if for spawn point and spawn positions, if spawn point is not equal to null, then we want to do all this. Okay. Now in here, export var enemy spawn point 3. This will still work, right? Will give us an error. Wait, I didn't add it to the array. Right, this is gonna work. Yeah, that works the same. But what I want to try is if I add enemy spawn point 3 to this array, will that still work? Please work, please work. Yes, no errors. Look at that. Cool. Okay, so I've made this like spawning smoke thing very general. So it's a global function now. So it can be called like anywhere. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, right. I think that's ideal. Yeah. Let me try one other thing. On Ready, I want to spawn points array. On Ready, I want to set spawn points to enemy spawn point 1, spawn point 1, enemy spawn point 2, enemy spawn point 3. And then make it in here, I can just replace this with enemy spawn pointers. Yeah. Right, and then in here, yeah, stump order does not have a spawn point 3. So let's see if this works. And then I think it's as ideal as I can make it right now. Wait, what? It only sent one? Wait, I think I know what that is. Enemy spawn point. Yeah, enemy spawn point 2. Okay. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. There we go. Look at that. We've got smoke. Okay. Nice. Okay, let me just recap what I did, so I don't forget it. So to the stump ultra scene, I added an initial position for the smoke to spawn from. then I created a global function called animate enemy smoke trail. Animate enemy smoke trail takes in initial position and an array of spawn positions. For all the spawn positions, it instantiates the smoke, tells the smoke scene to animate movement. So in the smoke scene, it has a function called animate movement that tweens into that position. I think this works. I think this is good. Because now I can use this global function anywhere. Yeah. It's not specific. It's not specific to the alter scene. I can call this anywhere. I just need to call it with an initial position and an array of spawn positions. Cool. Might as well add some more here. How many do you think we'll need? 5? 6? Keep it at 5 for now. Okay. I think it's good, man. I think it's good. I think we're looking good. Yep. Okay. Cool. I think that's where I'm calling it tonight. So, if anybody is watching, I am going to bed. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if Keytor is still here. Keytor, thank you so much for your help in the coding and debugging. So thank you so much for that. Saved me some time there. All right. Y'all have a good night.